For those who don't know me, my name is Kate Percival. I'm the Web and Digital Content Coordinator. And first of all, I'd like to apologize. I came down with a little something the other day, so my voice is definitely not 100%. So I can't speak very loudly, and I'm going to be sipping on either tea or water the entire time we're here. So I'm going to do my best to get through this. Today, we're going to be discussing improving PDF accessibility. So what is a PDF? PDF stands for Portable Document Format. It was originally created for print. It was convenient. It was portable, as the name suggests. It was shareable. It was a nice, easy way to transfer documents between parties and being able to keep the formatting and prevent editing. It was a widely used option and very popular. For most of us, it's kind of just been what we've been told. It's what we've done. However, in the digital space, PDFs are not necessarily the best option. So today we're going to go over some alternate options for you, as well as some methods on how to make your PDF a little more accessible. So some of the drawbacks of PDFs, as I mentioned, they were created for the print environment, not the digital environment. Therefore, they don't always play well in the digital environment. They are not inherently accessible. PDFs cannot be easily updated or revised. They can be very time-consuming to remediate, and scanned PDFs are strictly images, which are essentially unusable by assistive technology unless modifications are made. So with all that in mind, anytime you use a PDF, there are a few things to consider. First of all, where did the PDF come from? There are generally 3 different types of PDFs. One is converted from an original source. PDF is not an original source. It came from somewhere else, mainly a Microsoft Word document or PowerPoint or perhaps an InDesign document. It was obtained from a third party. Examples of this might be like an article that's downloaded from the internet, or textbook supplements that come from publishers. And the third option is scanned PDF in order to create a digital copy. So it was scanned from an actual physical textbook or magazine or journal article, and it was intended to create a digital copy. So the first thing that you need to ask yourself is, does this PDF need to be a PDF? As I mentioned, many of us use PDFs simply because it's what we've been doing. It's what we've been told. It's kind of the thing that's been passed down. Excuse me. But because PDFs were not made for the digital space, they are often difficult to use in that space. They're not always compatible with assistive technology. They're not easy to read on screens. I don't know if anyone's ever opened up a PDF on your mobile phone. It's very impossible to read. You have to zoom way in and then scroll back and forth and up and down. They are not responsive due to the locked PDF, or I'm sorry, due to the locked font size. They do not respond very well to different screen sizes, so it becomes difficult to use them. So again, ask yourself, does this PDF really need to be a PDF? And some things to consider while asking yourself if it needs to be a PDF. What is the purpose of the information? Is the information relevant and up to date? And how often does the information change? As I mentioned, PDFs are not very easily editable. So information that changes often is probably best suited in a format other than PDF. Are other options more appropriate? And how can I make this information a little more accessible? And we'll go over all of these. So considerations for the 3 different types. If the PDF was created from a source document, it's highly encouraged to use the original document whenever possible. If it's something that was obtained from a third party, we suggest to contact the author or perhaps check with the library to see if there's an updated or more accessible version. In the case of downloading something from the internet, rather than simply downloading it, which generally brings along all of the ads and extraneous things, depending on how long the article is, another option would be to copy and paste, copy the information from the internet, paste it into a Word document, and then you can take out extraneous things. And if it was scanned to create a digital copy, if it's a textbook or a supplement to a textbook, you could contact the publisher, contact the author. Again, check with the library to see if there are accessible or digital materials. And then I'll go over some quick ways to run OCR, which stands for Optical Character Recognition, in order to turn that scan from an image into actual text. Do we have any questions so far? Just a couple of quick basics about PDFs. This is basically for me to just take a little break.
So when you said like the source file, are you talking about like the LaTeX? Like you?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that? I coughed and I didn't hear you.
So when you say the source file, are you talking about like creating it from using LaTeX or like?
Yeah, so the source document, the source file would be the Microsoft Word document or PowerPoint or InDesign or LaTeX or any other source that you use to create the information, and then you have to convert it to a PDF. So when I say use the original file, I'm saying go back to the original application that you created the information in and use that when possible.
I see. Thank you.
And that's not to say that, PDFs are the most evil of evil things. They are difficult to work with sometimes, and sometimes other options are a better choice. But it is acceptable to have PDFs. You just need to be able to take the steps to make them a little more accessible. All right, any other questions for the moment? All right, and we'll try to carry on. So a few disclaimers. There is no one-size-fits-all solution for creating accessible PDFs. The process is only as good as the source document. So again, that being said, when you're working in Microsoft Word or whatever the original application is, do what you can to take the steps to make those documents as accessible as possible, and then convert it over to a PDF. Each job will require its own diagnosis or assessment of what's the best way to handle this PDF, what's the best way to make it accessible, and multiple approaches may be necessary in order to do that. So some baseline accessibility in terms of PDFs. The PDF cannot be an image. As I mentioned, scanned PDFs are images. You have to be able to change those over to text in order for them to be accessible. The source document needs to be exported as a tagged PDF, and I'll explain this a little bit later on. But a lot of times when you're working in, say, Microsoft Word, and people want to save it to a PDF, your initial instinct is to use the Save As option and then just change the file extension. That's not the best option to use because that doesn't always hold the accessibility features. So if you export it or convert it or export it as a tagged PDF, that will hang on to a lot more of the accessibility features that are used in Word. You want to make sure that the language is set appropriately. You want to make sure that all of your headings are properly tagged and that your images have appropriate alt text. And again, I'll go over all of those. So what is a tagged PDF? Tags are labels that identify the content, such as paragraph, heading, list, link, etc. Tags are necessary for use with assistive technology. They allow screen reader users to jump around the document rather than to read the entire thing. And I have a little demo on this. And then tags make content searchable and machine readable, which is what we want in use for assistive technology. Assistive technology doesn't really know what to do with an image unless there's alt text included. So you don't want an entire PDF that's an image, and then you have to have the alt text as all of the content within the PDF. That's no good. OCR, optical character recognition, creates actual text, which then allows assistive technology to read the document. And then tags allow assistive technology to read the labels, which, as I mentioned, allow users to skim the document and jump around a little bit. So I have this very short demo that kind of demonstrates how assistive technology is reading a document.
If I use the H key on the keyboard, it will allow me to jump to different headings.
School district heading level 1. Food distribution heading level 2. Learning at home heading level 2.
Likewise, if I use the L key, it will jump to the list.
List of 3 items.
Once I'm inside the list, I can use the down arrow to tab through each individual bullet.
Bullet week 1 materials, bullet week 2 materials, bullet materials for learning at home, list end.
Tags are very important to assistive technology users to allow them to identify different types of content and to skip through the document.
So that gave you a quick demonstration of how a screen reader is used for a document. The default tag is paragraph text. So if everything is listed as a paragraph text, or if everything is labeled as a paragraph text, assistive technology reads the entire document. So for example, if you have a 6-page syllabus and everything is listed as paragraph text, a student wants to go in, a student using assistive technology wants to go into that syllabus and find out what the assignment is for week 10 of the semester. They have to listen to the entire syllabus until they get to week 10 in order to find out what the assignment is. However, if you have things listed, labeled as headings, so for example, heading 1 would be like the course name, the course title. Headings 2 might be like course objectives, learning materials, textbook, course schedule. And then heading 3s might be like week 1, week 2, week 3, so on. So an assistive technology user can skip through and they can find the heading that says course schedule, and then they can find the heading that says week 10. So just given that example, I hope that you can understand how using these labels would make life a whole lot easier for assistive technology users. So tags are really important.
If I use
there. A lot of the information from today's session is available in the written and video tutorials page, which is located on our accessibility website at oswego.edu/accessibility. So I am going to be going over a little bit of technical things like how to incorporate accessibility into PDFs. And again, I don't expect everyone to memorize this. You're welcome to ask questions and take notes, but all of this information is available on our accessibility website. So first, we're going to touch on saving and exporting a source document. Now, exporting from Microsoft Word, again, make the necessary revisions to make your document as accessible as possible. Go up to the File tab, and I have a video that walks through this. Go to the File tab, find the Export option, and then choose Create PDF. Enter in your file name, select the save location, and then click on the Save button. When it opens in Adobe Acrobat as a PDF, the tags and other accessibility features that you set in Microsoft Word should remain. And again, that's a little bit different than just choosing the Save As option. That will not hold the accessibility features. So again, and all of these videos are really short, but it's a little bit easier to kind of demonstrate in real time, as it were, than to just walk through and explain them. So I'll talk you through each of the steps, but then I will have a little video that walks you through as well. So this is just a quick recap on how to save a Word document over to a PDF.
If you want to convert this to a PDF, most people just want to use the Save As feature and change the file extension to PDF. However, in order to preserve more of the accessibility measures, we want to export this to a PDF. You may see an Acrobat tab in the top main menu, and then choose the Create PDF option. Or go to the File tab, down here towards the bottom, choose Export, and then select Create Adobe PDF. Either of those will help reduce PDF correction and remediation. Select the destination and enter in the file name, then hit Save. This will open up the document in Acrobat.
So again, quick, simple steps to help you convert your Word document to a PDF. Very similar for PowerPoint. One of the really good things about Microsoft Word is that steps are very similar between between a Word document and a PowerPoint. So it's a very similar process for PowerPoint. If you're working in Google Docs, you simply have to go to the File menu and then Download and choose PDF document, and it will download it as a PDF. So next, we're going to talk a little bit about checking accessibility. Each software application, sorry, everyone, hang on. From whoever is at my door. So I do apologize. Please hold. I'll be right back. From the person who was at my door. Sincere apologies to everyone. So checking accessibility. Each application has a built-in automatic checker that will give you a baseline idea of where your accessibility is for the documents. This is a good first step to gauging accessibility, but there are always additional things that need to be done. So while I highly suggest using these automated checkers, they are not the end all be all. There's always additional steps that need to be taken. First of all, I'll say in Adobe Acrobat, in order to do any editing or remediation, you need to have the Adobe Acrobat Pro version. The reader version will only allow you to read. It won't do any remediation or any accessibility checking. So in the Adobe Acrobat Pro, go to the Tools tab, scroll down a little bit and find the Action Wizard icon, and then select Add to add it to the right-hand menu in Adobe. Open a PDF once you select the Action Wizard icon from that right-hand menu, and then it's very simple, just follow the prompts through. And again, I have another really short video that displays this, that shows this.
To use the Action Wizard accessibility tool in Adobe Acrobat, first open Adobe Acrobat and select the Tools tab. Scroll down the page to the bottom, find the Customize section and locate the Action Wizard icon. Select Add. And now the Action Wizard will be added to the right-hand side menu. If we go ahead and open a PDF, then come over to the right-hand side menu, select Action Wizard, choose Make Accessible, hit Start, and then follow the prompts through. If there's not already a title in the title box, uncheck Leave As Is and add an appropriate title. Keep in mind that assistive technology uses the title to identify the document to the user, so you want to have it something that's understandable, not just a file name. So once you have a title, click OK. Select the document language. If your document is intended to be a fillable form, you can select Yes. Ours is not, so we're just going to skip this step. Set the reading language. This message is telling us that Acrobat will detect any figures or images within the document and will let us know if there's any missing alt text. So we click OK. We have no figures, so we'll click OK again. All the checkboxes should be set by default, so go ahead and click Start Checking. And then we can see the list of errors that opens up on the left-hand side.
So again, the automatic checker is just a good way to get a baseline idea of how your accessibility sits, and the Action Wizard in Adobe allows you to sort of correct some of those potential errors before they go through. So by following all of the prompts and answering all of the questions, you kind of prevent some of those. Now creating text. So remember before when I said a scanned PDF is basically just an image. We want to use optical character recognition. There's a couple different ways to obtain this, but we want to basically create text from the image of the PDF. There's two ways to do this. You can do it in Acrobat Pro using the OCR or Recognize Text feature. You can also do it in Blackboard Ally. Excuse me. And I realize that Blackboard is going to be going away. We're going to be using D2L in the somewhat near future. I'm not 100% guaranteed on this, but from what I understand, Ally is available in D2L in Brightspace as well. So I'm hoping that we'll be able to continue using Ally because it has a lot of really good features in it. But for now, I will explain these steps to you. We'll go over it. And while we still have Blackboard and Ally available, I highly suggest that if you have any scanned documents, use these steps to create alternate formats and then just resave them, and they'll be beneficial to you in the future. So for Adobe Acrobat Pro, there's a feature called Scan and OCR. In order to make sure that the PDF is text, not an image, you want to go to the Tools tab, choose the Scan and OCR option, and then select Recognize Text. And it will kind of do its magic on the back end and should be able to convert the majority of the PDF into searchable text. Now, this is a little bit finicky at times. It's not always 100% accurate. Adobe sometimes does some funky things that I really have no explanation for. So I suggest using the Blackboard version, which I'll show to you in a moment. But this, again, short video kind of walks you through how to do this in Adobe.
We have a scanned PDF open, and we're going to run OCR, which stands for Optical Character Recognition. So in Adobe Acrobat, on the right-hand side menu, we're going to choose Scan and OCR. And you'll see this little menu pop up at the top. Choose Recognize Text, and you can decide just in this file, or you can run it on multiple files. We're going to select in this file, and then choose Recognize Text. And we'll give it a moment to run its course. So once it's converted the image to text, it should be able to be read by a screen reader. So let's run a quick demo with JAWS to see if it can read the text.
TK&W-original.pdf preventing vicarious trauma. The frame of reference encompasses one's identity, worldview, and belief system and is the foundation for viewing and understanding the world and self. It also involves cognitive processing of causality and attribution. Any disruption.
So while the document is still not great quality to look at, it can be interpreted by a screen reader.
So a couple of things to note about Adobe Scan and OCR. It will OCR the text that is not already OCR'd. It will guess on heading levels and almost always starts with heading level 4, which is one of those inexplicable things that I really have no idea why it does it. So when you use this, like I said, there are extra steps and you do have to go in and double check the heading levels to make sure that that's all set correctly. It will also guess on logical reading order, which is kind of a separate discussion in and of itself. I'm not really going to go into that today, but it does a decent job handling typical issues like columns, such as the one that we see in this document here. So it's not awful. It can be used. Once you kind of get used to using it, you can use it to convert scanned documents. Now, the other option that I mentioned was using Blackboard Ally. I like this option because it gives you a couple of different options within the option. Once you locate the file in your appropriate course, you should see an A icon next to the file. If you choose that A, a list pops up that allows you to choose an alternate version. You can choose an OCR PDF. It also has HTML version. It's also got a Beeline reader. It's got 5 or 6 different options in there that you can use. If the OCR PDF option is not available, that means the PDF is already in OCR format, which means that it's already considered text as opposed to an image. However, in many cases, if it's strictly a scanned image, you can choose the OCR option. Ally will convert it to text, and then you can download it and save it and use that, either re-upload it into Blackboard, or like I said, you can save it and use it for DTL or whatever other applications you have. So, and again, we have a handy little video that walks you through this.
So we're in Blackboard, and the document that I want to open is this one at the top, TK&W Original. Now I've already downloaded it, so we're just going to go over and open it in Adobe Acrobat. As you can see, the quality of the document is not great, and I get this warning that says the page only contains an image. Now we could run text recognition and try to fix it within Adobe Acrobat, but that sometimes gets a little complicated. So what I'm going to show you is how to download it through Ally to get a different version of it. So we're going to come back over to Blackboard, and right next to the file name here, you see this little A icon. That stands for alternate formats. If we choose that, we get this list that pops up that includes all the different alternate formats that are available for download. We're going to look at this top one, OCR'd PDF. OCR stands for Optical Character Recognition. This means that it should be able to be read as text by software and assistive technology. So we're going to make sure that one is selected, and we'll download that version. So once it's downloaded, we'll go ahead and open it in Adobe Acrobat. Now we can already see that the quality is much better than the original version. And if we run a quick accessibility check, we can see in the list on the left-hand side there are very few errors. And actually most of these can be corrected automatically by right-clicking and choosing the Fix option. If you use Blackboard as your learning management system and would like to include a document such as this in your courses, simply save this document using a new title and then upload it back into Blackboard and distribute it appropriately.
So I've done a lot of remediation in my time here at Oswego, and this kind of life hack became one of my best friends, because I would go into an online course and find all sorts of scanned PDFs that would have taken me a very long time to remediate. So instead, I just used Ally, which again, isn't 100%, but it does do a fairly decent job. It would run OCR on a lot of these documents and turn them into text, and then I could save it and re-upload it back into the course. So it's a little bit of a time saver. Again, it's not guaranteed, but it is helpful. All right, so now a couple brief words on alt text. Alt text is a short description that provides the meaning of the purpose of the image. It doesn't just describe what's in the image, but it describes the purpose of the image. Meaning can vary based on the context that the image is being used in. Therefore, alt text is best written by a content creator or subject expert. So again, in considering the three different types of PDFs, if you have a scanned PDF or if you have a PDF that was obtained from a third party, unfortunately, you may not be able to get the content creator or the subject expert to provide alt text unless you can get an updated, more accessible version of that document. If you are the content creator, if you used LaTeX or InDesign or Microsoft Word and created a document and it has images in it, and then you turned it into a PDF, you are the best person to determine what the alt text for those images should be. So alt text is important because it allows people who can't see the image to basically get the same information or similar information as those who can see the image. It provides a description of the meaning of the image. It enhances the experience for people who use screen readers. And according to the WCAG standards, which is the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines standards, alt text is required for all non-text elements. Non-text elements being anything that is not straight up pure text. All of those elements should have alt text associated with it or be marked as decorative. Now, alt text can be added in PDFs. Again, you have to have the Pro version. You cannot do it in the Reader version. It's not terribly difficult. You find the Tools tab and go to the accessibility icon and then choose Set Alternate Text or Set Alt Text. A dialog box will pop up and will advance to each image, and you can add alt text as needed, and then you simply hit Save and Close. And we'll give you a short demonstration of this.
To enter alt text, open the accessibility icon and then select Set Alternate Text. You'll get this message that says Acrobat will detect all figures and display any alt text. So click OK. Each image in the document will be highlighted, and you can add or modify the alt text as necessary. For this logo of the State University of New York at Oswego, the alt text describes what it's representing, so we'll just move ahead. And for my image of the dog, we'll add in an alt text that says a dog standing on top of a mountain. If an image or element is purely decorative and adds no additional meaning, you can use this checkbox, Decorative Figure. Once you've finished adding in all your alt text, hit Save and Close.
All right, so as you can see, that's fairly easy to do. Again, you need the pro version of Adobe Acrobat in order to do it, but it is possible. As far as decorative images go, I suggest that if an image is simply there to fill space, if it adds no additional meaning, if it has no additional purpose, if it's just there to take up space, I highly recommend removing it if possible. However, if it enhances something, if you feel that it really adds to whatever other content is on the page, but it really doesn't provide any additional purpose, then you can go ahead and mark it as decorative. So again, all of that information, I know it feels like a whole lot of information. All of that information is available on our accessibility website, which is oswego.edu/accessibility. We have a video and tutorials page, a written and video tutorials page. And on that page is the, well, there's lots of different options on that page. There's Microsoft Word, there's Microsoft PowerPoint, there's Google Docs, and there's Adobe Acrobat, just to name a few. I do have written tutorials and video tutorials. All of the videos that you've seen so far today are like excerpts from the video series for PDF. So you should be able to go into the accessibility page and find any of those videos, find all the information, and it step-by-step walks you through how to incorporate each of these accessibility principles. Do we have any questions so far? And I do see that we have a few things in the chat. I tend to ignore chat when I'm presenting, so I do apologize. Check that really quick. Fast on the mute draw. Yeah, well, when you have a dog that barks at everything that goes by, you tend to be fast on the mute because I never know when she's gonna go. So, and all right, Casey, thank you for this input. Ally does work with Brightspace. Don't know that status of the campus decision. That's, I think, the big question. Ally will not be available if you are exploring in a trial D2L. These don't have any. Okay, so yes, from what I understand, the last time I spoke to an instructional designer, I was told that Ally would be available with the actual live version of D2L. As Casey pointed out, it seems like they are not available in the D2L sandbox. However, I have also been told that D2L is more accessibly intuitive than Blackboard was. So I have not played in the sandbox yet. But I hope that the accessibility features that are available will be a little more robust than what we have seen in Blackboard. A question, any helpful things on LaTeX? You know what? I'm going to defer to Casey on that because I am not at all familiar with LaTeX, but I know that Casey is. So Casey, if you have anything to add or if you want to throw something in the chat or maybe just connect with Indu afterwards, that would be fantastic. Because I honestly do not have an answer to that.
I would say one of the folks to talk to is Elizabeth Wilcox, because she worked some with that. I know that you can convert LaTeX to MathML so that the equations are rendered and are accessible. The MathML serves as the alt text, but taking a LaTeX document, converting it to a PDF that is accessible, I know nothing about. The simple fact of the matter is, unless it absolutely must be a PDF for some reason, don't do it.
That's kind of where I stand as well. PDFs do have their use, but in a lot of cases, you can use Microsoft Word doc, or if you're putting things on a website, rather than clicking on a web page and then clicking on a link to go to a PDF, I say just put the information straight up on the website. So Blackboard, for example, again, in a lot of the remediation that I did and a lot of the online courses that I saw, professors would put up documents, which again was the standard, the normal thing that we were taught to do, right? But instead of clicking multiple times to get to the information, just put the information straight up on the Blackboard webpage or on whatever web page, and it makes it a lot more easily accessible rather than having to deal with PDFs. And it kind of takes out like that middleman, so to speak.
I think for me, it's like, typing the math equation is like much easier and quicker on LaTeX than, doing in the Word document. I think there's like consequence because I think, that I graduated in 2017. but the schools are forcing us to like use the LaTeX for our thesis and stuff. So they have their templates and they force us, then we learn and we have to type our homework. So we are kind of like used to do the LaTeX rather than the Word. So Word is like sort of like, if we have no choice, then we will like, you know, do it. It's not the other way for us.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the workflow process, I think, is something that's going to probably continually evolve. I mean, as accessibility increases in awareness, you know, I think things are going to change. Things have changed, and things are going to continue to change. So, unfortunately, I don't really have an answer for that right now. But that is something that we should. That's something that we're working to understand more about, and, you know, stay tuned for, hopefully we can do more in-depth, detailed sessions on working with LaTeX and math equations and that type of thing in the future. Okay. So I'm happy to answer any other questions. Again, we have a drop-in session this afternoon, next at 2 o'clock. I think I skipped a slide. Yeah. Yep, there it is. These sessions are hosted by various members of the work group, former accessibility fellows. We invite you to bring questions, clarifications, roadblocks to get some sort of customized, individualized one-on-one help. These are offered from 2 to 3 p.m. every day throughout, see, today's Thursday, right? No, today's, I don't know what today is. Anyway, they're offered until the end of the winter breakout session. So they're offered all next week. Today's Friday, thank goodness. It's been quite a week for me, you guys. So I really apologize for my brain fogginess today. But anyway, we'll have our breakout session at 2 o'clock this afternoon. And then we'll be offering them all next week as well. So we invite you, if you run into problems, if you have something particular that you've been working on, if you have, you know, an issue that you really tried to overcome and you just can't figure it out, please bring all those questions to us during these daily drop-in sessions, and we can help walk you through it and sort of put our collective minds together and see what sort of solutions we can come up with. So this is the last session for today, for this week, aside from the 2 o'clock drop-in. Next week on Monday at 10 a.m., Emily Bouvier will be doing a presentation on psychology of accessibility needs. And then again at 2 o'clock on Monday will be the accessibility drop-in. All of the sessions available for next week are on our accessibility website on the accessibility challenge page. And they're also available on the CELT website, the winter breakout sessions page. So my email is kathleen.percival@oswego.edu. Again, the accessibility website that I've been promoting, oswego.edu/accessibility. I invite you to email me or reach out to any of the other work group members if you run into problems or questions. We do our very best to help support and provide answers for the people who, you know, run into these little issues. Accessibility is this huge, it's this huge mountain of information, and none of us are ever going to know everything about it, but we do our best to kind of bring our knowledge together and figure out as many answers as we can. And we appreciate that there's so much to understand, and it can be very overwhelming, but appreciate you showing up for sessions like this. I know I saw a couple of faces that were at my session yesterday as well. This is kind of the first step in overcoming all of that and learning how to do accessibility better. So we thank you for that, and we encourage you to continue learning on. We're all learning through this. So